Right folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And I basically just finished my last adventure down at that abandoned farm, and for today's adventure we're out here and we're about to go and document this monument built by Panmure estate back in the day when they owned the lands of Glen Esk. I believe that the Lord Panmure built this for his wife or whatever at the time, and it's a monument that stands over the land here, and you can see it for miles around when you're driving up Glen Esk. Look at this crazy hills behind, the way the sun's shining down through that gap, and all I can hear is grouse making a call out on this hill. And basically in today's adventure I need to get this recorded, and then I need to try and get back to my car before sunset. So I'm keeping the pace quite quick here folks. So the incredible thing here folks, I just imagine how they must have had to carry all this stone up here at the top of the hill. They probably were using horses back at that time with carriages with the big blocks of stone on them. And you can just imagine what a feat that is, considering how rough this ground is here. So check this out folks, we've made it to this incredible hilltop here. It has to be described as a paradise hilltop. And what an incredible structure this is here folks, this monument. It's almost like a pyramid shape, but it's actually round. And on top, it's got the white quartz coloured stone that you get naturally in the land here. And also, it's kind of that flinty stone. I think that's like flint or whatever, the white kind of stone at the top. It's interesting to see. And above that in the sky you can actually see the moon. The moon's out shining bright right now folks. Wow, I can't even believe I've made it up here. I didn't know how much time I would have to do this exploring. It is quite a long way back, but here we are. Wow, we've made it to this hilltop monument. Look at the colour of the stone, it almost looks like limestone. It's like it's made of limestone with a flint top on it. Wow, the wind's blowing super strong at different sides of this place. It's catching the wind. It's howling around, as they say in Scotland, folks. And all the way around here, you can just see it's an incredible, vast hillscape. And look at this, at a certain time years ago, you must have been able to get inside this place. Whereas they've probably sealed it up now for vandalism. Wow, look at that. Look how thick it's constructed. It looks like at one time it actually had a window or whatever over at the far side. Wow, it's been so long since I've even thought about this place. The history that I remember about it is that, but not unless originally the person may have been buried within here. Look at this gate. I'm just like blown away by the metalwork and stuff. The wildness of the weather up here on the hill gives it the character. All that mossy stuff grows on it with the damp conditions. When you just look all around folks, it's so special to come to these places on the videos, see how wild the lands are and show people all over the world. Some of my viewers live in like deserts or whatever, or areas which has just got no landscape like this at all. In Scotland, places like this, there's just nothing but hills and burns, boggy lands and heather moors, I would say. And there's all these little waterfalls that I could just see coming off some of the hills as well. It makes for a special adventure. And in the last video I was literally down at a croft over there, which probably dates back to the 1800s and stuff like that. And I think this place dates back to either the 16 or the 1700s if I'm correct. So it is an ancient structure in its own right. Not super ancient, but really old, like a couple of hundred years. At one time, potentially, you could get in there. If you were super tiny, you'd probably be able to get under. But obviously, you have to explore these places with respect of the monument itself and the meaning of it. It's in memory of somebody. It's dedicated to somebody, folks. So you don't want to be climbing about inside a thing like that. It's showing disrespect to it in a lot of ways. And the setting here is just breathtaking. We're once again entering that super windy funnel of air, and I think there's a secondary path I'm going to take down here. Wow, look at this, I need to get a photograph. So that is amazing, folks. I always promise you the coolest of adventures on this channel and the coolest of places. Sometimes the way the sun shines a certain day just looks incredible. So there you go, folks, it's a scene of abandoned history. Like I say, I love to just explore things like that and see what's left from ancient times. Think about the work that was done to construct that as the monument here on the hill. I'm keeping the camera close in behind me here because the wind's so strong gusting around. It'll be a lot better once I get down to the bottom of this hill. I just love this adventure, folks. I'm keeping a fast pace now. It's incredible to see these little patches of sunshine on the faraway hills. You can actually see the outline of this hill and monument in the distance, and that's so special to see right there. So for any of my viewers that's needing places to explore in the summer, or maybe when they're on their holidays or whatever, Glen Esk's that kind of area where there's plenty of little historical places to visit in one day, with like the Loch Lee at the top, which is a big dam kind of loch with an ancient graveyard at the side of it. And on the way to that you walk past Invermark Castle, a massive ancient old castle ruin which stands there. And even here with this old Panmure monument, it's such a fun walk coming along the track there up onto this hill. And it's the sort of track, even in the summer or whatever, it's still accessible even when a lot of stuff gets overgrown. And it's just a fun walk, folks. It is the most wildest of landscape though, and it is so cool just to look around and you see little animals like deer or whatever kicking about. The amount of wee birds and stuff fleeing about, it's incredible. They must be eating all the midges and things like that that's out tonight. So as you can see from that, folks, emergency calls only. That's when you know that a place is remote. It's when you didn't get a phone signal in that area. I'm now back down on this main path. I've come down off the steep hill and you can kind of see the tip of the monument up there, the silhouette of it. And these wild lands are so remote, it's just peace and quiet with no sounds apart from nature itself. It's just pure silence. You can see the red colour in these clouds now from the setting sun in the distance. Look at that. The sky's taking on a whole new look with the evening sun here. And I've probably got about 15 or 20 minutes before it starts getting to such a dark level that, well, I don't suppose I would struggle to see. There's probably actually more time than what I would think before it gets that dark. But it's better to be safe than sorry. When you're out in these remote lands, folks, you don't want to be miles away from your car when it gets pitch dark, for sure. In the summertime, this is the sort of path that you would see adders on, which is one of the only snakes that you really get kicking about in these areas, and they are quite poisonous. You can have serious pain, and some people do die from adder bites that are seriously toxic. And that is a type of snake which lives in these lands. They thrive here in these hills, and over the years I've seen quite a lot of them up in Glen Esk and stuff like that, and they're really cool to see. Normally they would just slither away, or sometimes when I've seen them they're curled up in a little ball. But it's only if you would accidentally stand on one, or maybe grab one if you were climbing on like a wall or a cliff, that's when you would most likely get bit. But with a lot of nature like that, if you let it just get on its way, it just slithers out of where you are. But it's mad to think that in Scotland you do get these poisonous snakes kicking about, because you think in Scotland there's nothing like that. Recently on one of my videos, somebody was asking if we got bears in Scotland, and I'm happy to inform you all that there's no bears kicking about here. But I have thought about that before on my adventures. Like, we wouldn't have so much freedom in the wild if there was animals like bears and stuff kicking about here to get us. We would have to carry about rifles or whatever, or have some sort of deterrent. But most commonly in Scotland on my adventures, it's cows and stuff like that in fields which stop me from getting to the ancient wonders that I'm wanting to see. Anyway folks, I'll update you once I'm further down the hill. I've probably got about a mile, maybe a mile and a half until I get back to Tarfside village. I'll just update you along the way. I can see more of this magnificent monument up behind me now. What a crazy adventure this has been. Wow, I can see a plane. It probably doesn't come out on the camera, but there's a mad plane. I think because of the angle of the sun, it's just proper lighting it all up. So check out folks, we're almost back down as far as Tarfside. You can see the monument way in the distance on the peak of that hill. And I've just loved every bit of today's adventure. I just love heading into the wilderness often on these old tracks and then seeing history which is hardly seen, documenting it for the world to see, and then remembering the history as well. It helps people from all over the world see things that's almost like hidden in these little nooks and crannies of the Scottish glens. Things that's almost forgotten if they're not seen. And there's a cool little church here down at the water's edge, or the river's edge I should say. I'm not sure if that's been a newer church that's been built for the people of Tarfside. Probably in the 1900s or whatever, early 1900s. Check out folks, this is where the mud track turns into actually a tarred road. And it's an amazing scene. This is the wee church. It's almost like a picture postcard scene here. Yeah, look at it, it's got the wee bell on the end of the structure. It doesn't look as old as some of the churches that I visit on my videos, but there's a cool little church with like a wee bell tower kind of built on the end of it. And then look at this here folks, it's the snowdrops right here. It's the scene of the time of year. For all the flower and bulb lovers out there that watch the videos, some snowdrops right there. That's the sign of spring. And in certain areas I have actually seen some daffodils and stuff starting to show their head through the grass, through the ground. Yeah, check this out, what a cool structure. I love the wee windows and stuff. Wow, there's so many midges and flying beasties around tonight folks. I think it's the sunshine that brings all that out. Also the damp environment in these glens, it's just perfect for them thriving. But yeah, what an amazing spot. I hear the ferocious little waterfall down here at the burn, gurgling its way past. And if you keep on going up that road there, it takes you to like Invermark and places like that. Check this out folks, this is incredible, the wee waterfall. Eventually the road just comes to a dead end up here. If you keep going up that road towards Invermark. Look at this folks, the wee bridge. Wow. Yeah, that road basically keeps on going to a dead end with a car park, and then if you walk up the mud track, that's where Invermark Castle and Loch Lee and other interesting places are. But today's adventure, we've parked at Tarfside village and headed up that track. And what a cool adventure it's been. But I'm going to end this one here. It's been cool to see the Panmure Monument and the wild landscape that it stands within. I'll be back soon with the next adventure. Wherever I end up going folks, we'll see you soon.